Hey guys, welcome back. This is still 700 Club Worksheet 2, and we're gonna finish the last 3 questions. Okay, so the data in the table were produced by ecologists who collected some soil samples from 2 areas to determine whether they were contaminated with chemical A. Based on the table, what proportion of soil samples were contaminated with chemical A? Okay, so this is not a two-way table because this information is giving different types of information, percentages and sample amounts. Okay, now, how would you know this? From doing these questions and being familiar, you would know this because notice this was a percentage. So think about it this way, 30, if the problem we did earlier, 30 divided by 400, that's 7.5% get a negative test value even when they have the virus. They didn't have to give you this raw number 30 and 400. They could have given you the percentage. So working backwards, that's kind of what they're doing here. So to answer this question in the same manner in which the other questions we've been doing, we have to create our own two-way table from scratch. Okay. So I have an area A, and I actually would like it, I'm just going to call this my first one and then my second one because this is called chemical A too, and it's kind of distracting. Okay, so my first area that I test and my second area I test. Again, that's another strategy when they overuse a letter and then it's difficult. You get confused on, are they talking about area A or chemical A? So the first section of soil that I tested, I took 450 soil samples. Okay, so out of the 450 soil samples, 8% of them had the chemical A in it. So you can think of this as 8%. What's 8% of 450? Well, of means multiply. So 8% of 450 is 36. So what they're saying there is 36 of the 450 were contaminated. And then that would mean this would be not contaminated. So 36 out of 450 were contaminated with chemical A, and the remaining ones were not contaminated. Now, you don't really need it for the question, but it gives us a warm, fuzzy feeling that we haven't left anything out. We can create a brand new table from this information. Now we know that 550 samples of the second area that I had tested, only 6% of those were contaminated. So 0.06 times 550 is 33. So 33 samples out of the 550 were contaminated. All right, 517. And you could total these up. And there you go. So now you have a table, and so you can answer this question like you normally would. They've just required you to make a new step. Okay, based on the table, what proportion of the soil samples were contaminated? Well, it looks like a total of 69 samples were contaminated out of a total of 1,000 samples taken, and that would be this decimal, and that would be B. Okay. So hopefully that was a little eye-opening. I don't know if you've seen that strategy before, but it should make common sense as you think through it. Let's look again now at 14. The incomplete table above shows the results of a study in which doctors gave patients experiencing back pain either a drug or a sugar pill. 3 times as many patients were cured from the drug than the sugar pill. 3 times as many from the drug than the sugar pill. Okay, so we're talking only about, this sentence is talking only about the people that were cured. So similar to the last question, but now I'm going vertically, not horizontally. 3 times as many patients were cured. So three times as many were cured. If I knew how many were cured by the sugar pill, I'd need to multiply it by 3 in order for it to equal the amount cured by the actual drug, okay? Well, we know the amount cured by the actual drug was 90. So if we solve for how many were cured by the sugar pill, we say it must have been 30. And then you think back, reread the sentence and say, yeah, that makes sense. If 30 were cured by the sugar pill and 90 were cured by the drug, then 3 times as many patients were cured from the drug than the sugar pill. So this should be 30. Okay. Now the next sentence says, for every 2 patients cured by the sugar pill, all right, so we know we have 30 patients cured by the sugar pill. And for every 2 patients that are cured by the sugar pill, 5 were not cured by the sugar pill. So we're trying to figure out what goes there. 5 were not. So we're trying to figure out what would match these ratios. And it doesn't matter how you set up the ratio here. You can set it up 30 over x is equal to 2 over 5. You could set it up vertically here. 30 over 2 is equal to x over 5. No matter what, sorry, you can cross multiply to solve here. You get 2x is equal to 1,500, and x has to be 75. So another way to think about it as well is how many 2's, if I split this in 2, how many is that? And that would be 15. So 2 15s are here, 5 15s is 75. That's another way to think about it. And 5 15s is 75. So now we have our data. Now that we have our data, we can answer the question. And according to the results, if a patient is given a sugar pill, so now to answer the question, I'm only interested in the people on this line. So given that they were given a sugar pill, what's the probability they will be cured? Okay, so let's total this up. That'd be 105. So out of the 105 that got the sugar pill, given they got the sugar pill, how many were cured? 30. 30 out of the 105. Now both of those have a multiple of 5 in there. So let's reduce. And both of those, there's a 3 in there, right? So we're going to divide top and bottom by 3. We get 2 over 7. There's our answer. All right. Last one. A principal of the school decides whether to budget surplus on new gym equipment or computers. The incomplete table summarizes what juniors and seniors are preferring if a senior from the school is chosen at random. So we're only interested in what the senior thinks in this sentence. What's the probability the student prefers gym equipment? So let's finish the table working backwards. It says if the student was a senior, what is the probability the student prefers gym if a senior from the school is chosen at random, the probability that the student prefers gym equipment is 1/3. So out of the seniors, they prefer a third of them prefer gym equipment. If a senior from the school is chosen, the probability, yeah. So we don't know how many seniors there are. And we don't know the probability that they like gym equipment, but using this complement rule, We know two-thirds of the seniors must like computers because we only gave them two choices, computers or gym equipment. So 2/3 of the seniors liked gym equipment. So you know that the number of seniors that liked computers over the total number of seniors is equal to the fraction 2/3. You also know the number of seniors that liked computers. It's 160. So 2/3 is equal to 160 over, and now we can solve for how many seniors are there by cross multiplying. Okay, so if we cross multiply here, we get 2 times seniors equals 3 times 160. So we get 240. So there's a total of 240 seniors. Now, using the complement rule, we can subtract 240 from 160 and get 80. So you can double check this as well. When you divide 80 by 240, you say, yep, that's a third. So I got it right. Now, how many seniors are at school? Nah, we already got our answer. 240 seniors at school. Thanks for joining me, guys. Check you next time.